Hey guys, it's Joe, and it's time for Puck It with Joe. Happy Wednesday and happy almost American Thanksgiving to everyone out there. We have a full bunch of games. We've got 15 games on the slate. Happy Wednesday, Kev. Let's get going. We're gonna fly through this card today. I have to tell you, I haven't had a chance to look if there's any goalie updates, so we're going to be looking at some of those things together if there's some line movement that I wasn't expecting. So let's get to it, you guys. Canada right now is playing Belgium. I was glued to my TV. That is one of the reasons I have not looked at these goalie updates. Canada's first time in the World Cup since 1986, 36 years. It's absolutely insane. Let's look at the first matchup on the ice, just making sure nothing has really changed here. Let me update my book. We've got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Minnesota Wild here. Winnipeg coming in at plus 134 on that money line, minus 162 for the Minnesota Wild. And we have a total that's gone up from 5.5 to that beautiful number of 6. Now I'm asking who is going to win that World Cup game. You guys, I did sprinkle on Canada that plus 550. I took both teams to score and the over 2.5. Let's look at this hockey game though, you guys. That's enough of World Cup. With the Winnipeg Jets coming in here, Connor Hellebuyck is expected in goal for them. I'm just seeing if we've got any confirmations on that. Connor Hellebuyck has been so solid for the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, he is confirmed in goal. So he has 2.07 goals against average. He is really the strength of this team as well as their defense. Their defense is holding opponents to 2.41 goals per game and 30.7 shots on goal. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. And then we look at the Minnesota Wild. Now, while this team did struggle at first defensively, they really are turning things around. We look at them now. They are holding opponents to under those 3 goals per game at 2.94, which is 12th overall in the league, and 30.3 shots on goal. Gustafsson is expected for them. He has a 2.86 goals against average. Yeah, he is actually confirmed for them. Both of these goalies are going to come out strong. Both of these defenses, I think, come out strong as well. What I'm going to do with this one is really look at that total. I'm going to take it under that 6. I was really happy to see it move from that 5.5 up to a 6. Each of the Wild's last 9 games following a win have gone under the game total in that following game. We look at this matchup. There's a lot of home ice advantage here for the Minnesota Wild. And the Jets have struggled in Minnesota, going 1-6 in those last 7 meetings. The Jets are also 0-4 in the last 4 as an underdog following an overtime game. So I think with them coming off that overtime win over the Canes on Monday, it was a 4-3 win there for them. I think this game could be a struggle. This is the first game of their 3-game road trip here. Big shout out to The Real Deal. If you haven't checked out all the stuff that he is producing, make sure you go check it out. Great guy on here. And everyone, I'm glad you're cashing on those player props and the goalie props. That is great to hear, David. Always love that kind of feedback. And hi to Stevie Ray out there. Okay, so in this one, I got to go under. I think this is a lower scoring one, controlled by the goalies and the defenses. Sidewise, I don't know which way I really want to go with this one. Both these teams coming off a win over the Carolina Hurricanes, which is really interesting. Minnesota beat them on Saturday, And then we saw the Winnipeg Jets beat them on Monday. So we do see a Wild team coming in here a little more rested. There is home ice advantage with the home team going 20-7 in the last 27 meetings. Now, with the Wild being minus 160, you could take them here. In regulation, I do think there's value in there. They've also really played up to teams above 600, going 7-1 in their last 8. So definitely value. I think the best bet though is to take the under 6. The next game on the board at 7 o'clock Eastern, we have the Arizona Coyotes taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, Ranta expected in goal for the Carolina Hurricanes. He has a 2.54 goals against average. And Vamelka, I can never say his name right, the Arizona Coyotes. He's 5-5-1 on the season with a 3.23 goals against average. Now, looking at these two teams, defensively, the Arizona Coyotes just have not been playing well. They're allowing 3.59 goals per game and 35.4 shots on goal. Offensively, they're not getting these shots on goal either. They're being limited to 24.2 shots on goal, but they do have the 7th best power play overall in the league, which is really interesting. They average 2.59 goals per game only. Now, they have lost their last 4 games. And this is game 8 here of a 14-game road trip. Whoever did the scheduling hates the Arizona Coyotes. 14 games on the road is a really hard stretch. Now, the last game out, they lost in a shootout, you guys. They lost to the Predators in that shootout 4-3. When we look at the Carolina Hurricanes coming in here with Ranta, this team is averaging 2.84 goals per game and 35.2 shots on goal. They're getting these shots. They're the 4th best in the league for getting these shots. They're limiting their opponents to 25.3 shots on goal, which is 2nd best overall in the league, and allowing only 2.74 goals per game. So in this one, I look at it as Carolina is going to do such a phenomenal job of getting these block shots, limiting the Arizona Coyotes, who only average 24.2 shots already on goal. So this is going to be a game. It's going to be very hard for Arizona to get these goals. But what I'm expecting is a lower scoring game here in this one. We've got a total of 6. I'm going to hit it under. We've seen the Canes come out beating the Arizona Coyotes in their last 5 as a favorite. There is no doubt in my mind that they can get the win here. Arizona, though, gets in these positions where they really upset teams. Now, Carolina has lost their last 3 games, all on the road, all in overtime. So this is a spot where Carolina definitely could be tired coming into this one. They lost to the Avs 3-2, the Wild 2-1, and the Jets 4-3. Again, all of those games went to overtime, you guys. The last time these two teams played, the Carolina Hurricanes won 5-3. And the Carolina Hurricanes have failed to cover the puck line in each of their last 6 games against opponents on a losing streak. So when they're playing these opponents that are not doing well, they are not covering that puck line. At minus 326, you cannot take them here straight up on that money line. I would be terrified to throw them in a parlay. With coming off 3 road overtime games, I think they're going to be tired coming into this one. Could they still win? Absolutely. We've seen Arizona struggle in Carolina. Could they blow the Coyotes out? Yeah, they could, because the Coyotes team defensively just isn't getting there and they're not getting these shots on goal. I think this is probably a 1-0 game. I think it's super low scoring. I think with that, with the low scoring game, with tired legs of the Canes, I'm going to take the Coyotes plus 1.5 at plus 126. I think there is value there, taking them on that puck line with the points in a lower scoring game. So that's where I'm going. I don't absolutely love it, you guys, because we know the Coyotes defense has been so bad and the Canes defense will really limit them today. But again, I think this is a very low scoring game, 1-0 style or 2-1 style. So the under 6 is definitely in play in this one. You guys, thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone. I'm seeing your comments come in. Really appreciate you guys each and every day joining me here on Pocket with Joe. You guys over on TikTok as well. I see those comments coming in. If you want to interact, come on over to YouTube. Okay. The next game on the board, 7 o'clock Eastern, we have the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. Now, we know how phenomenal the Boston Bruins are doing right now. They've won their last 7 games. They're 17-2 on the season, 6-2 on the road, 7-1 on that road, on that puck line. So they're not only winning, they're winning big here. Allmark expected for them. He's 13-1 on the season with a 1.96 goals against average. That's a .935 save percentage. Spencer Knight confirmed for the Florida Panthers. Now, he has been so solid as well. He's got a 2.43 goals against average and has gone 5-3-1. Both of these teams are strong teams. The Boston Bruins, I don't want to step in front. This line kind of worries me when I look at it. We look at the Florida Panthers. They have lost their last 3 games. We're getting them as the favorite in this one. I don't understand it. They're 9-8-1 on the season. They're 5-4 on that puck line, 3-6 on the puck line at home. This team is allowing 3.32 goals per game and 31.1 shots on goal. Now, when we look at the Boston Bruins, totally different story. Averaging over 4 goals per game at 4.16, which is first overall in the league. They're third overall in the league for getting these shots on goal at 34.1 shots on goal. They've got the best power play, and they are completely dominating, winning the face-off battles. They defensively are only allowing 2.11 goals per game, which is first overall, and 29.6 shots on goal. They've got the second best penalty kill. Boston should be rolling in here as a bigger favorite. I don't love this line here. This could be a case where Boston ends this winning streak. I think that's what this line is trying to tell me. I don't get it. I don't want to touch a side. What I am going to look at is the last time these two teams played. That was October 17th. This was a 5-3 win for the Boston Bruins. Now, the Boston Bruins are 10-0 on the puck line as a favorite. We know they're dominating, winning big. I look at their team total. It's sitting at 3. We're paying a little bit of juice here at -135, but I think this is a safe way to go with this game because I really do think it is a high-scoring battle between these two. I know Spencer Knight and Allmark have both been so phenomenal in goal, but the thing I look at here is these offenses are really producing, and now I think they will be able to get things going here. So I do lean on that over 6.5. Guys, this isn't my favoriteest game on the board just because something isn't sitting right. This could be the chance for the Florida Panthers to get the win here. But again, the Boston Bruins are one of the hottest teams right now. They've been dominating. Now, they've won their last 7. They got us the win the other night. It was versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was a 5-3 win. This is their second game of a road trip. They're home Friday versus the Canes. I don't think there's any kind of look ahead. This line isn't sitting right. We see the Florida Panthers have lost their last 3. They had a hard loss versus Calgary. That was a shootout loss. That was 5-4. Then they lost Saturday on that back-to-back versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. That was on Sunday. So they've had a bit of rest here. It is Wednesday. They should play strong. Home ice has been huge between these two. But again, I don't like a side. If there's one team you like better than the other, hit their team total over. I like the Bruins team total over 3. We know they're producing on average over 4 goals per game. So that is where I'm going to go with that one. And I think the over 6.5 is a great way to go. Read the room. Good luck to you too out there, and good luck to everyone. Kev, I like that you're riding with the Bruins on the money line. I do think that is my natural gut instinct, is to take the Bruins for another win, get their 8th win here. Matt, I really hope that you start feeling better soon. Not good to feel not great over Thanksgiving. Okay, guys, and the next one on the board, we have the Calgary Flames, my Calgary Flames, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to ride with the Calgary Flames here. Let me just make sure there's no goalie changes in here. Markstrom was expected this morning for the Calgary Flames. And we know he's been vulnerable in spots, but I think Calgary is really starting to get things going. Oh, it is Vladar. Man, what is the line movement on that? Okay, Calgary's coming in at +114 with Vladar confirmed for the Calgary Flames. Now, Tristan Jarry is confirmed for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oh, this changes things, you guys. I'm already riding with the Flames on the money line. I really do think they're the hotter team right now. They should be able to slow down the attack of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Still do believe that. I think they can get this win at plus 114. I love the value we're getting here on a team that's really heated up. They've won their last 2 games, their latest being over the Flyers. They got a nice 5-2 win. They put that puck in the back of the net. I believe it was Carter Hart in goal. Now, this is game 4 of a 6-game road trip. They got the Caps and the Hurricanes left. The Pittsburgh Penguins have won their last 3 games. The last was a 5-3 win over the Blackhawks on Sunday. It was the Blackhawks, you guys. This is our first game off a 3-game road trip that they went 3-0. So they dominated on the road trip. They have 1 game here versus Calgary, and then they hit the road again on Friday to face the Flyers. So I do think this is a terrible scheduling situation for the Pittsburgh Penguins here. So even with Vladar in, I am going to ride with Calgary here. He is a smart goalie. He makes some really good decisions, and he is a good backup for Markstrom. So give me the Calgary Flames at plus 114 now. I like it even more than the plus 105 I was getting earlier this morning. The Flames are also 9-4 in the last 13 meetings. And now when we look at this total, you guys, that's 6.5. You know we got to hit this over. Both of these offenses have been playing so strong. And I know we've got stronger goalies, but Tristan Jarry has been susceptible to allowing some really easy shots on him when he's just misjudged which angle that puck is coming at. We look at the last 7 games playing on 1 day's rest for the Calgary Flames, and they're 5-2 to that over. Pittsburgh Penguins 4-1 in their last 5 overall to that over. Guys, so many great games on the board. Let me know which ones you're cheering for, betting for, and which ones you're liking today. Okay, the next game on the board, we have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets, 7 o'clock Eastern game as well. Now, Montreal coming in here. Let me just make sure. I had minus 102 this morning. I'm sure it's moved. It's plus 100 now for Montreal, plus 120 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we've had the total jump up to 7. I still like it over. I hit it over 6.5 earlier. I still like it over 7. At worst, you push it 7. This is going to be a high scoring game. Montreal is going to come in here with tired legs. They lost last night to the Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo finally getting a win, a much needed win as well. So Sam Montembeault expected here for the Montreal Canadiens. He's got a 2.83 goals against average, and Corpustello confirmed here for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's got a 4.17 goals against average. Both these teams are really getting the puck in the back of the net, both averaging over 3 goals per game. Really similar offensively, right around that 30 shots on the net each game. Montreal allowing 3.5 goals per game and 33.2 shots. They're allowing too many goals here, but Columbus, even worse, allowing 4.33 and 37.3 shots on goal, which is 31st all over. Overall in the league. Sorry, guys. I had a fluff hit my nose and made it itchy. I think Columbus here at home is a good way to take it. You never like taking a team with a losing record. They are 6-6 though at home, 7-10-1 overall this season. They won their last game versus the Panthers. They really dug deep in that one, but the Panthers also were in a terrible scheduling situation. So it makes sense why the Columbus Blue Jackets won that. But I think Montreal's legs are going to be too tired. So we've also seen Montreal really struggle versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. They haven't won any of the last 6 meetings, which is just crazy. And Stevie, you are right. You've got to ride Johnny Gaudreau for that anytime goal tonight. He is really starting to open up for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I do like it there as well. Home ice advantage, you guys, has been great between these two, going 11-5 in the last 16 meetings. So give me the over. Blue Jackets versus the Eastern Conference opponents have gone over that total in 6 of their last 7 games. And then we look at the meetings in Columbus. 7 of the last 10 have gone over. Okay, you guys, the next one on the money line or on on the board here. Got money line on my head. I keep thinking, I wonder if Calgary scored. If you guys have the soccer on, please let me know if Calgary scores. Don't let me know if Belgium scores. I don't want to know. St. Louis actually I do. I've got the over 2.5 as well. St. Louis taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Now Buffalo coming in here at plus 158. St. Louis Blues at minus 192. Total of 6.5. Let me make sure there's been no changes. No, I am getting minus 150 now for the St. Louis Blues, plus 125 for the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres, we know, broke that losing streak last night. Um, they had to really dig deep, but they were able to get it done. They got up really fast in that first period. Now, I don't think they'll have as easy as a time here. I did see someone saying take the St. Louis Blues on the reverse, or the Buffalo Sabres on that reverse puck line. That would pay out so much money if that hits. I could see it potentially hitting. My problem here is if Jordan Binghamton is in goal for the St. Louis Blues, because he really has been a difference maker as of late. And it looks like Jordan Binghamton is confirmed. Now, the Buffalo Sabres have a goalie that I don't know enough about. Lukanon, I can't even say his name. There is way too many U's and K's and O's and N's and everything in there. I don't know enough about him. We've seen him come out once only so far, and he had 5 goals allowed on him. So while I can't get there. I can't bet this one without knowing enough on him. And I do think Jordan Binghamton is so solid for the St. Louis Blues, and this team has been doing so well as of late. They're now 10-8 on the season. They got over that huge losing streak. They've won their last 7 games. They won last night. Their last win was over the Ducks. That was a 3-1 win on Monday. So I think I would feel more comfortable with sitting with the St. Louis Blues on that puck line instead of taking the Sabres on that reverse puck line. I just can't get there. Yeah, I hear you guys. That is the more confident way I would go because of Jordan Binghamton. With him in goal, he is a difference maker for this team. Now, I'm not going to touch the total in this one either because this could very easily go over if the Buffalo Sabres goalie does not have a strong performance here. We know the Buffalo Sabres have not been strong defensively. They are allowing that 3.67. Now, Tag Thompson has been a moneymaker for us of the Buffalo Sabres. So we hit him over his shots on goal last night. Actually, we didn't. That was too highly juiced. We hit him over for that anytime goal at plus 135-ish it was last night. I think you can keep rolling with Tag Thompson here. Let me just see if I can get his shots on goal at a better value tonight because he has been absolutely phenomenal for the Buffalo Sabres. Yeah, over 3.5 still coming in juiced at minus 154. You could look at him for an anytime goal. We're not getting the value that we got last night. Last night, we got it in the plus 130s. Tonight, we're getting it at plus 120. So they are expecting him to keep rolling hot. And with Jordan Binghamton coming in here, this is going to be a harder case for him to get it. Now, on the other side of the puck, you could take Vladimir Tarasenko of the St. Louis Blues. I love what we've seen out of him for that anytime goal. Actually, I'm going to put that one in. I really like it. I just saw his value here. Vladimir Tarasenko for the anytime goal is at plus 186. I do like that. And let's see, Ryan O'Reilly has been absolutely phenomenal. We can take him for that anytime goal too. Again, extreme value here with Ryan O'Reilly. We're getting him for the anytime goal at plus 250. Okay. I'm sorry, I had to write them down because I'm going to place these right after. I actually love doing this show because there's a lot of things that I talk out with you that might not have been one of my bets that I've put in because I do talk every game with you guys that afterwards I go and I put these bets in because I've talked myself completely to loving them. Let's look at the next game on the board. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the New Jersey Devils. Now, this one kicking off at 7 o'clock Eastern. The Devils have been so hot. They're coming in here at minus 134 on that money line, total of 6.5, plus 110 if you have faith in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs are a very hard team for me to back and get behind. They just don't show that consistency. They're off that loss to the Islanders. It was a 3-2 loss. This is the first game of a 4-game road trip for them here. They have the Wild on Friday. I just want to see if Matt Murray is confirmed for them here in goal, because I do like what I've seen out of Matt Murray so far. Matt Murray is confirmed. Now, he has a 2.76 goals against average. Vanek expected or confirmed actually for the New Jersey Devils. He's got a 2.14. He's 9-1 on the season. When we look at these two teams defensively, actually, these teams have been both doing phenomenal, with the Toronto Maple Leafs only allowing 2.7 goals per game, which is 8th overall, and 28.2 shots on goal, which is 5th overall in the league. Now, the New Jersey Devils are second best defensively, getting those holding their opponents to only 25 shots on goal, which is 1st overall, and 2.32 goals per game. Offensively is here where the biggest difference is. We look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're coming in under those 3 goals per game. Everyone expected Austin Matthews to keep rolling this year. We haven't seen him do what he was doing last year. Remember, last year it was every single game after game, he was scoring a goal. We're not seeing that with the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I don't think we see them very often as a dog, because I think a lot of people hype them. And we look at the New Jersey Devils. They are averaging almost 4 goals. It's 3.84 goals per game, 36.4 shots on goal. They're getting these chances, second best overall in the league, and they've got the 15th best power play. Now, Toronto has the 6th best power play. So this game, it's so critical if the New Jersey Devils want to keep winning. They've won their last 13. For them to stay out of that frickin' box, because we know on the power play, Toronto is going to be able to come out strong. Now, I think the New Jersey Devils are the better team. I can't get behind fading them here, but we look at the facts, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have been so strong in New Jersey that it's scary, because they're 8-1 in the last 9 meetings overall versus New Jersey. They're also 4-0 in the last 4 meetings in New Jersey. I don't want to fade the Devils. You guys sat here with me. I faded the Devils the last time they played the Maple Leafs because of these facts. And the Devils fought it out in a hard-fought battle and got the win in that one. So instead of taking a side, you guys, and I want to tell you that I'm going to take the Devils, because I really think that's who's going to win. At minus, what are we getting? I had minus 142 earlier. I'm getting minus 130. And then on this book, I'm getting minus 134. I just don't like that value there that I'm getting with how hard Toronto has played, with the Devils getting the win the last time. I'm going to take the over 6.5. I think even though Matt Murray's in and Vanek, we have 2 offenses that completely can explode. We've been making so much money with the Devils team total over 3.5 that it's been absolutely incredible. They got us the over 3.5 versus the Oilers in that one. It was a 5-2 win. And if we look at their last 6 games and you hit that over 3.5 with me each and every time, in those last 6 games, we've only lost once hitting that over 3.5. So I do think this is a good game for them to still get over, even with Toronto's ability to stop those shots on goal. We know there's just so much talent, so much power by the New Jersey Devils. So I would hit their over on their team total, over 3.5, whatever it's sitting at. And then I think the best bet, though, is to hit the over 6.5 in this one. Ryan or Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley, yes, that is actually really going to hit them. I totally blanked on that factor, and it leads me to believe the Devils even more so now. So now I even love their team total over a little bit more, because they're going to struggle without him. Very good point, you guys. I changed my mind. Take the Devils all day long. Take the Devils in regulation and take the over 6.5. Danny, thanks for listening from Vegas. Tell me it's nice and warm there. It's pretty chilly here in Calgary, Alberta. Oh no, what's happening to Canada? I just heard someone say poor Canada. Let me know that score, you guys, if you are watching it. I really hope I hope they're not getting killed by Belgium right now. Okay, the one Troy, it's still 1-0 for Belgium. Is the game over? Please don't tell me it's over. Brian, breaking my heart. Okay, the Calgary Flames and the Florida Panthers are going at it at 4 o'clock Eastern tonight. I already talked about this game. I got so distracted there, you guys. Man, what am I talking about right now? Okay, the next game on the board is the Nashville Predators taking on the Detroit Red Wings. I'm glad I didn't start talking about a game that, yeah, flustered. I want Canada to win. Okay, Nashville Predators coming in here on the road at -105, -114 for the Detroit Red Wings. Saros and Huso expected here. Let me just double check the goalie situation. Lanaken expected, or actually Lanaken confirmed here. Okay, this should be an interesting game. I just want to look up Lanaken's stats because off the top of my head, I cannot remember what he's sitting for his goals against average right now. He has a 2.6 goals against average, Lanaken, coming in here for the Predators. And we have Huso expected. I'm not sure if he will get it, be confirmed, but he has a 2.55. We look at these teams and really interesting. We have the Predators coming in here off a shootout win. I'm just going to look at updated stats. We're getting +108 for the Preds, -132 for the Red Wings. This is a really bad scheduling spot for the Nashville Predators. But then we have the Red Wings coming in off a road trip. Off a road trip, there are certain teams you want to fade and you don't. The only team you really don't want to fade off a road trip is the Las Vegas Golden Knights. They are phenomenal in that first game off a road trip. Lots of teams are not. But I think this scheduling spot is harder for the Nashville Predators than returning from the road trip will be for the Detroit Red Wings. Now, the Red Wings are off a 6-1 win over the Columbus Blue Jackets on Saturday. This is their first home game after they split that road trip. They went 2-2. They have the Arizona Coyotes coming up on deck on Friday. Now, the Nashville Predators are off a shootout win over the Coyotes. It was the Coyotes, you guys. It's not one of these outstanding teams. That was at home. It was a 4-3 win for them. They are on a one-game kind of road trip here, and then they're back on the road on Friday versus the Colorado Avalanche. I don't like this spot for them. I don't think their heads are going to be in it, especially with Thanksgiving tomorrow going off for a one-game road trip. They'll be headed home. There'll be Thanksgiving, everything like that. So I'm not liking them here. I think you got to ride with the Red Wings, even at -132. I think it's worth going for. I liked it better at -114 earlier this morning. When we look at the Nashville Predators, they have lost each of their last 7 games following an overtime win. So they do come in tired. You could also look to fading them in that first period. They've lost that first period as an underdog in their last 5 games following overtime. So they come in weak off that overtime. So I'm not liking them here. And then the Predators, I don't know. There's huge trends to the favorites. The Predators have played strong in Detroit, but I'm not buying it. I just don't like this scheduling spot, you guys. I do think this is one where you can hit the over. Lanaken has been decent for the Nashville Predators, 2.6, and Huso has been decent for the Red Wings, but this number is sitting at 6, and I want to see if it's changed at all. Yeah, it's still sitting solid at 6. I do think we go over this total. We've seen solid trends to that over, going 5-1-1 in the last 5 meetings and 3-0-1 in the last 4 meetings in Detroit. So give me the over as well. Kev, thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys can hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. I have been asked in TikTok if I've ever dated an NHL player. No, I have not. But thanks for the question. Let's look at the Philadelphia Flyers and the Washington Capitals. Now the Capitals coming in here. Let's make sure it hasn't changed. At minus 250 now on that money line for the Washington Capitals. That's gross. Plus 202 for the Philadelphia Flyers, and the total sitting at 6. I want to check goalie situations again, you guys. I have Carter Hart, who I'm expecting to come in. Let's just see if any of these goalies have confirmed. We do have Darcy Kemper confirmed, so I'm still assuming we'll have Carter Hart here. Now, we know Carter Hart has been so solid for the Philadelphia Flyers. He single-handedly won them a lot of these games before. He's 6-4-4 on the season with a 2.68 goals against average. Kemper expected here or confirmed here for the Washington Capitals. He's 5-9-1 with a 2.83. Now, the Capitals have been struggling, dealing with a lot of injuries here. They've lost their last 4 games. They had a shootout loss to the Blues as of recent, and the Avs shut them completely out on Saturday. That was a 4-0 loss for the Washington Capitals. They've got Calgary on deck. They're at home in this one. The last time they faced the Flyers, they got a huge win over them. It was a 9-2 win. It would have been last April last season. The Flyers coming in here struggling versus the Capitals. This team isn't playing any better. They're actually playing worse. They've lost their last 7. 2 of those, 7 though, have been in overtime. So they've had a fighting chance in all of these games. Their last game was that loss to Calgary. 5-2 loss there. They're in another weird scheduling spot. They've got this one game on the road, and then they're back home Friday versus the Penguins. I don't love the scheduling situation for them here, especially with that little break for Thanksgiving. We look at the Capitals, though, struggled versus the Mets. This is a game, you guys. If you don't have to bet it, don't. I don't love it. There's no value here on the money line for the Washington Capitals. And taking the Philadelphia Flyers doesn't sit well on the puck line for me either. I don't think the Caps come out and win this by 1.5, but I can't take the Flyers at plus 1.5 either. So for me, I'm staying off this game. I don't like it. It's just not sitting right. Both of these goalies should play a solid game. They should keep it under this number, but the defenses aren't giving them any support at all, especially the Philadelphia Flyers, allowing 33.8 shots on goal and 3.21 goals per game. While Washington is allowing Darcy Kemper to be rattled with shots at 31.4. Now, if you guys remember, Darcy Kemper was with the Colorado Avalanche, but that team was so phenomenal at stopping those shots on goal. We looked at Cale Makar, and the number of shots he blocked for Darcy Kemper was phenomenal. So Darcy Kemper is struggling with this team and has a higher number, that 2.83, higher than he had with the Colorado Avalanche because he isn't getting that support defensively. Let's look at the next game on the board. We have the Edmonton Oilers taking on the New York Islanders. I heard Skinner was confirmed, but I heard that from a little bird, so I don't know. One of my friends called to tell me that. I am not seeing Skinner or Jack Campbell confirmed. We know Jack Campbell has been dealing with some sort of injury. Sorokin is confirmed, though, for the New York Islanders. So I don't know who we're going to get here. Who we're going to get really leans me more to the over. If we get Jack Campbell, I 100% love that over 6.5. Jack Campbell has been struggling again, but the defense of the Edmonton Oilers, we need them to step up. They're allowing Jack Campbell or Igor Shesterkin to get hit with these shots. Igor Shesterkin, I don't even know why I said that. Skinner to get hit with these shots here at 34.4 shots on goal on average per game. Their defense is allowing. They're allowing almost 4 goals per game at that 3.63. It's just not good enough. This Edmonton Oilers team is so strong offensively. They need more support defensively. And I don't know what they're going to do with this team to do it, because no matter what goalie they put in there is getting destroyed. We've seen it with Mike Smith. We're seeing it now with Jack Campbell. We're seeing it with Skinner. And Skinner has in my mind, being the better goalie between these two. So depending on who comes in, I really think that this is going to be a higher scoring game. I think the Islanders are going to be able to score in this one. Sorokin expected for the New York Islanders. He has been solid this year with a 2.37 goals against average, but this Islanders team is coming off an overtime win over the Leafs. It was 3-2. This is their first home game after a road trip. They hit the road again on Friday to face the Columbus Blue Jackets. So this could be a situation where Edmonton does come in here strong. And with Edmonton, with me leading on Edmonton to get the win, I have to lean on that over because I do think the Islanders will be able to score on Skinner or Jack Campbell. Skinner looks a little frazzled because of how I think bombarded he is getting with these shots on goal. Now, the last time these two teams did play, we saw a lower scoring one. I can't get there with this one. The Edmonton Oilers coming off that loss to the New Jersey Devils, who we know limit those shots on goal completely. They were still able to get 3 shots on goal on that one. So I'm going to hit the over 6.5. I'm leaning on the Edmonton Oilers. Not sure if I'm going to get there. Let me see if there's been a change in this line. We're getting them at plus 105 now for the Edmonton Oilers, as getting them earlier at minus 108. So that there definitely could be enough to just put me on them in this one because I do like getting that plus money. And I think there is value there, taking the Edmonton Oilers at plus 105 on that money line. So I might have just talked myself into that one, you guys. There has been so much home ice advantage between these two. Only thing that does scare me, and the defense has been doing a solid job for the New York Islanders. So if this one is to win, if Edmonton is to win, it goes over that total. Let's look at the next game on the board. Like I said, you guys, we are going over all of these games today. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube and Facebook and want to join the interaction, the talk in the live chat, make sure you come over to YouTube. Puck It with Joe is live here every single weekday, right around that 3:30 Eastern mark. On weekends, I try to kick off an hour before these shows start. If it's at half an hour, it's because we got 5 million games on the board. You guys know that happens, and I adjust accordingly. So we'll do the recap at the end. I'll recap all these games. I'll give you my best bets in each of these games. And we'll throw together a long shot parlay. The next game, 8:30 Eastern, we have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Dallas Stars. I want to see if Ottinger is confirmed here because Ottinger being in goal is huge for the Dallas Stars. I absolutely love what we're seeing out of him. We do have Ottinger confirmed for the Dallas Stars. I'm going to take the Dallas Stars here on the puck line for a nice big win. They're just being absolutely so strong this season. And it's the Chicago Blackhawks. They are struggling this season. They are 6-9 on the season. 6-9-2 actually on the season. And we have the Dallas Stars 11-5-2. Now we have faded the Stars in certain situations because of scheduling. I don't think the scheduling is that bad. They're off a shootout loss versus the Colorado Avalanche. That was a 3-2 loss. I think they'll come out with that fire underneath them off that loss. This is their third home game. They have the Winnipeg Jets on Friday, and then they're on the road on Saturday. So I don't think there's any kind of like look ahead situation. I don't think there is any they just got home situation to fade. These teams played last season in April. We saw the Stars get a 6-4 win. I think the Stars are going to come out and dominate in this one. They've won the last 4 games following overtime. So I'm not even worried about that shootout overtime loss versus the Avs. I think it just fuels this team. They're also 4-0 on the puck line following overtime. So I'm confident in here with taking them at -1.5. They're 13-6 on that puck line this season and 5-3 on the puck line at home. Where we look at the Chicago Blackhawks, they just haven't been getting there. They haven't been getting these goals. They're only averaging 2.44, which is 32nd overall in the league. We know that's the worst overall. They're not getting the shots at 25.8. And defensively, they are allowing too many opportunities. And the Dallas Stars will definitely capitalize on this. They're allowing 34.6 shots on goal and 3.39 goals per game, where the Stars coming in here so strong. They got the 4th best power play overall. This is my favorite bet of the day, is taking the Dallas Stars at at -1.5. I just want to make sure we haven't seen much movement for the puck line. It's at -124 now. I still like that. Earlier today, it was a little bit less juice, but you guys go over to Betstamp, shop those lines, use referral code Madden over there. You always want to make sure you get the best value, even if it's a couple of points either way. You don't want to miss out on that because over the long run, you guys, it costs you if you're getting bad line value. Okay, so give me the Dallas Stars on the puck line in this one. As for the total, no real thoughts on this total. It's sitting solid at 6. I think you could look at the Dallas Stars team total over if you're looking for someone or something to bet for the Dallas side because I just don't trust Chicago to get their share of goals here on Ottinger. And if they do let a couple go or they come out flying and get 5 of their own and then Chicago gets 2, we get that over. So I'm going to stay off the total because of that. You guys, I see all of your comments here. Gil, thank you for coming in and subscribing. Anthony, thank you for subscribing from Vegas too. How's the weather in Vegas, you guys? Let me know. Okay, the next game on the board, you guys. We have the New York Rangers taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Rangers got me last night, you guys. I thought they got me. I thought the Kings were going to win against the New York Rangers. I lost that one. I believe it was a 5-3 win for the Rangers. Within that first period, I could tell that they were going to dominate that game. I leant towards the Kings because they were on home ice. So that was it was a 5-3 win. I'm looking at the Rangers to come out solid in this one, but there's too much juice here. Let me see if it's changed. -156 right now on the money line. Really interesting, though, because that was -170 when I looked at these lines earlier. +128 now for the Anaheim Ducks. It was +140. Let me see what goalie announcements or anything that has come out. Let me just see. Thanks for bearing with me, you guys. It's hard when I have other shows before this and these goalie announcements just come out so late. I'm not looking at the Chicago Blackhawks game. I'm looking at the New York Rangers. There we go. Okay, so John Gibson is confirmed for the Anaheim Ducks. Now, he has a 4.15 goals against average. This Ducks team, again, another team that is allowing their goalie to be just completely rattled with goals there. If I can talk, the Ducks are allowing 37.5 shots on goal, worst overall in the league. They're allowing those 4.26 goals per game. We see the Rangers. We see what strength they have. They played the Kings really hard getting those 5 goals, and the Kings have a way better defense than the Anaheim Ducks. So when I look at this and this total sitting at 6, I have to hit it over. I can't trust Halleck here either of the New York Rangers to keep this one under. He's 0-4-1 on the season. He's got a 3.22 goals against average. Now we look at the Rangers and the Ducks. Neither of these teams are really known for lighting up the board, but both of them can on different situations. And we have the Ducks coming in here, just terrible power play. But we see the Rangers getting these shots on goal. They are averaging 34.6. With the Anaheim Ducks allowing this 37.5, this could be an interesting game where the Rangers could almost take this one completely over themselves. They pushed right on that number of 6 the last time. These two teams came out October 17th. The Rangers got a 6-4 win. So if we see the Rangers come out the same way as they did last time, they are going to get us the push on the number of 6. And all we need is the Ducks to answer back with 1 goal. The Rangers have been so strong versus the Ducks as well, going 4-0 in the last 4 meetings, and the favorite 5-1 in the last 6. So for myself here, even though there's home ice advantage for the Ducks, I just can't back them. I'm going to go with the New York Rangers in regulation and the over 6 here. Yes, I will wear my jersey next time. You guys, my problem is I drink so much coffee sitting at my desk. I'm terrified that I'm going to spill it on my jersey because it has like that little bit of white and it's really hard to get out of jerseys. But I'll definitely wear it next time. I promise. Okay, the next one on the board, we got the Ottawa Senators taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. This one is interesting, you guys. Right away, got a total of 6.5 in this game. Both of these teams are so capable of getting this game over, especially the Vegas Golden Knights. They're coming in so strong offensively, but I believe this game is ruled by defenses and goaltending. So right away, I'm taking the under 6.5. I wanted to get that off my chest because it's like, I have to take this under 6.5. Both these teams are averaging over 3 goals per game, especially Vegas, averaging that 3.65. It could easily go over. But Logan Thompson expected here. And let me double check this because if he's not in, then I do think this goes over. But with Logan Thompson expected and Cam Talbot expected, I really do think this one is one of those games that stays under that total, even though it very easily could go over. Okay, Logan Thompson is confirmed here. The last time these teams played was just on November 3rd. We saw such a high scoring game. This was a 5-4 game. This is one of those games where you're going to know in that first period if this whole game is going to stay under, because it could be, 3, 4, 5 goals in that first period if things do not go right. These defenses are so strong, especially the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas is only allowing 2.55 goals per game defensively and 29.5 shots on goal. The Senators have struggled defensively, and this is my biggest issue, but I believe in Cam Talbot. I really do, and I think we're going to see, while he doesn't look as strong as we hoped he would look for the Senators here, I think we're going to see more out of him tonight. He's 1-4 on the season. He's got a 2.8 goals against average. Vegas is going to be getting these shots on him. The Senators are going to allow it. For this one to stay under the total, it all relies on Cam Talbot to have a phenomenal game. Now, I think another good way to look at it would be to look at the Senators team total under. I really think you can trust Logan Thompson to get these save shots on goal. So let me just see if I can get that number. It's going to be a 2.5, which is scary. But I think with what we're seeing out of the defenses here, okay, so the under 2.5 is at -102 for the Ottawa Senators team total. And I'm going to hit it because I really do think they struggle to score in this one. -102. Yeah, I have more faith in that than the full game. I also think because it's going to be a lower scoring one, that there's value on the Senators team, or the Senators on the puck line at +1.5. I hate to say it because I love what I'm seeing out of Vegas, and I think they're the better team. But I think the Senators can cover the puck line here, keep it tight. We saw that last game go 5-4. The Senators on the puck line is my favorite bet, even though I hate to say it. Because I do think Vegas gets a win. And I really don't love taking the puck lines when I think one team gets a win, but the other team keeps it tight. The Senators have covered the puck line in each of their last 9 games following a road loss. So they're coming off that road loss to the Sharks. See, how hard is it to take a team that just lost to the Sharks? It's freaking hard, you guys. It was a 5-1 loss to the Sharks. This is the second game of a 4-game road trip here. Huge odds towards the favorite in this one. Senators have struggled. But they're also 4-0 in their last 4 games when the opponent has scored 5 goals or more in their previous game. We know that the Vegas Golden Knights got 5 goals versus the Canucks. They're off that big win. This is their first game home off a 2-game road trip. But like I said, Vegas is not a team that you fade coming home off a road trip. They just don't get there. So give me the Senators on the puck line +1.5. Give me the under. Give me the Senators team total under 2.5. I think this is a 2-3 game all day long. So you guys, that's what I'm liking there. Fingers crossed this one hits because I feel like I'm seeing it clear as day. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. The next game on the board, the San Jose Sharks. We're almost done. We got 2 games left, you guys. Thanks everyone for joining me for the last 53 minutes. The San Jose Sharks taking on the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken coming in here as a favorite at -172. This Kraken team has been playing phenomenal. San Jose Sharks +142, and the total sitting at 6.5. Now, the Kraken, not the same Kraken team as we saw last year. The improvements they did in this offseason have been phenomenal. They're 10-5-3 on the season, 5-4-2 at home. The San Jose Sharks coming in here 7-11 on the season. They're 13-8 on that puck line, though. They have been putting up fights, 6-3 on that puck line on the road. They haven't been being blown out of the water. If there's so many beans you can put in a sentence. And they got the nice win over the Senators in their last game. That was a 5-1 win. Offensively, they really opened up in that one. The Senators defense really shut down. Now they're averaging only that 2.9, but this number has gone up, you guys. We were talking a couple of weeks ago. They were averaging closer to that 2.2, 2.4 number and 29.9 shots on goal. Now the Kraken are averaging over 3 at 3.22 and 29.4 shots on goal. Defense of this Kraken team is so solid as well. They're third overall in the league for getting those block shots on goal. Holding opponents to only 27.3 shots on goal. So impressed. Martin Jones expected for them. He has a 2.3 goals against average and the defense at 2.72. Now, defensively, the San Jose Sharks, they are hurt here, allowing over 3.29 and 31.4 shots on goal. And look at the Seattle Kraken in the first period. These first period trends really do hold tight with a lot of these teams. And the Seattle Kraken have won that first period as a home favorite in their last 7 games. So I like them here coming in as a favorite again. I think taking the Seattle Kraken in regulation has value here. And they've also won their last 5 games following overtime. This team is one of those teams that defies odds. We like to fade teams off overtime for tired legs. This team just doesn't get there. Now, they've won their last 2 games in overtime, the Seattle Kraken. They got a 3-2 win over the Kings, a 3-2 win over the Rangers. They lost in overtime to the Jets. And they have Vegas on deck on Friday to start a 3-game road trip. So while they could be in a bit of a look ahead here, I like them better than taking the San Jose Sharks. The San Jose Sharks come in here off rest, and they're just not strong off of that rest, going 7-15 in their last 22. So give me the Seattle Kraken here in regulation for this one. I think they have a phenomenal game. I'd look at their team total over as well, with this total sitting at 6. I bet you they're coming in here at 3.5, and I'm just going to look to see what this is. I could even see this being a 4-0 win here for the Seattle Kraken over the San Jose Sharks. Let me just see. Okay, you guys, Seattle Kraken over 3.5 is coming in at plus 114. You know, I love that plus money, you guys. So I'm going to hit that one as well. But I think Seattle Kraken in regulation is the best bet. The last game on the board, we've got the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Colorado Avalanche. The Canucks coming in here at plus 168, minus 205 for the Colorado Avalanche, and a total of 6.5. I think this is a terrible scheduling spot for the Colorado Avalanche. I hate to say it. This is a 1-game home after a 3-game road trip, back on the road on Friday to play in Nashville. We've seen these situations. We bet against the Dallas Stars taking on, I believe it was the San Jose Sharks in the same situation. There was a time we bet against another team playing, I think it was the Ducks, in the same situation as this. These teams that come home for these one-off games aren't getting it done. We're minus 200 here on the money line. I hate the Vancouver Canucks, you guys. Their defense is playing so terribly. Their goaltending is terrible. They got that win over the Kings, which again, another one that killed me. I went against those trends. The Kings just do not play well in Vancouver. I won't do it again. They've got the 5th best power play. They're averaging 3.47 goals per game and 30.2 shots on goal. But they're allowing defensively 3.95 and 33.5. They got the 31st worst power kill in the league. If they get in the penalty box, Colorado completely runs away with this. Demko expected for them. He's 2-9-2 with a 3.88 goals against average. Everyone on TikTok, I see those comments coming in. I can't answer you now. I will after we finish up here on YouTube. If you want to comment, come on over to YouTube. Georgiev, I can never say his name right, of Colorado, is expected. He's got a 2.4 goals against average. Now, Colorado has the best power play. They are by far the better team. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Vancouver Canucks are a better team. This defense, the Colorado Avalanche, are looking like we saw them last season. They've got a 2.47 goals against average, fourth best overall in the league, 33.6 goals or shots on goal allowed. They're off a shootout win over the Stars on Monday night. That was a 3-2. This is their second game here. They keep these games keep going to overtime. And they won all 3 of those games on the road in overtime, and that was against the Carolina Hurricanes, the Washington Capitals, and the Dallas Stars. You guys, it's a hard one here. I don't think the Avs cover the puck line. They have covered the puck line in 7 of their last 8 games. Just the scheduling spot, I can't get behind it. The Vancouver Canucks are 6-5 on the road on that puck line, taking them here at +1.5. Let me see if the value has changed. +1.5, you are getting them at -142. So the juice has gone up. I was getting them at -135 earlier today. They did win this match back in March. It was a 3-1 win for the Vancouver Canucks. They are 30-14 in the last 44 meetings over the Colorado Avalanche, but they are coming in here on that 1 day's rest. They're completely struggling on the road this season, and the Colorado Avalanche are so strong at home. So when I look at all of these things, I don't want to take the Vancouver Canucks. I see a reason why they could actually pull off the win and get the upset win because of the scheduling reasons for the Colorado Avalanche. I think the best way to take this is to take the over 6.5. I think even if Vancouver comes out here strong, either way, this one is going over that total. Benji, I love that you brought up Cale Makar. He is one of my favorite players on the Colorado Avalanche. I can get him over 2.5 shots on goal at -135 today. I know it's a little juice, but Cale Makar has been absolutely phenomenal on that ice. I like Mika Rantanen as well. We can take him over 3.5 shots on goal at +118. He's had 53 shots on goal this season. And he's played 17 games so far. So he's hitting just over that 3.1. I know 3.5 is a little bit more than 3.1, but I do think he's due for a big game here. I also like him to get that anytime goal. He's been limited. He's been held off getting these goals. It's a +114 for that anytime goal for Mikko Rantanen as well tonight. So this scheduling spot, though, it's not sitting right with me. I like the over. I think both of these offenses come in strong. The over has hit in 3 of the last 5 meetings. We have got to push there. The Canucks on 1 day's rest have gone to that over. They don't play strong off this rest. Their defense really plays worse, if you can say that. So you can look at the Colorado Avalanche's team total as well. Okay, you guys, that was all of the games. Oh my God, we finally got through it. Let's recap these games. Where we've got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Minnesota Vikings. In this one, you guys, I'm going to take the under 6. I'm going to do this fast. I've actually got another show starting right away, you guys. So the Winnipeg Jets and the Minnesota Wild. I said Vikings. I know I did take the under 6 in that one. The Arizona Coyotes and the Carolina Hurricanes. I'm going to take the Coyotes +1.5 at +126. I'm going to also hit the under 6.5. The Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers, you guys, give me the Boston Bruins team total over 3.5 in that one. The Calgary Flames and the Pittsburgh Penguins, give me the Calgary Flames on the money line for that beautiful plus money, and give me the over 6.5. That one is a great one to put out some player props. I will be giving out a player prop on Twitter, so come over there. The Columbus Blue Jackets are going to ride here on the money line over the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to take the over 6.5 in that one as well. The St. Louis Blues and the Buffalo Sabres, you guys. I hate this game. I'm going to look at the over, if anything, for the St. Louis Blues team total. Jordan Binnington in. I think he's the difference maker in this game. The Toronto Maple Leafs and the New Jersey Devils. I really can't fade the Devils here, even though A lot of people seeing wealth in the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think the best way to take this is with the pressure both of these teams are applying offensively to take the over 6.5. The Nashville Predators and the Red Wings. I'm going to take the Red Wings here on the money line. I think the Predators struggle in this scheduling spot, and I think the over 6 is a solid way to go. You guys, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Washington Capitals. I don't like this game. I'm not going to bet it, not going to touch it. The Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders. If Jack Campbell is in, I like it more to that over, but I think both ways this one goes over the total. I really do think Edmonton has a chance of pulling off the win here, and I like them with that plus money on the money line. So give me the over 6.5 and the Edmonton Oilers with that plus money. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Dallas Stars. I'm going to take the Dallas Stars on that puck line all day long. I'm also going to take them in the first period, completely fading the Chicago Blackhawks tonight. The New York Rangers and the Anaheim Ducks. I can't trust Halleck in here. We can't trust the defense of the Ducks, so give me the over 6. The Ottawa Senators and the Vegas Golden Knights. I think this is a tighter game here, so I'm going to take the Senators on the puck line at plus 1.5, even though I think Vegas gets the win. So that never sits easy. The best bet, I think, is taking that under 6.5 in this game, as I see it being a strong defensive goaltending one. The San Jose Sharks and the Seattle Kraken. I've got to ride with the Seattle Kraken in regulation, you guys. I think they completely control this game. And the Vancouver Canucks and the Colorado Avalanche. I don't love it, but I think the best way to take it is take the Vancouver Canucks on the puck line plus 1.5. The value has gone there. It was less juice before. I think this one is a good one to prop bet. I'm expecting the goals to come in. So I love the over 6.5 and Mikko Rantanen over 3.5 shots on goal at plus 118. And then Cale Makar over 2.5 shots on goal at minus 135. You guys, I have to run. I got another show. Join me back here. I've got a great guest on. Have a good day. Keep smiling and make some freaking